How you been?
Good.
Good. Staying busy.
I had the Redskins-Eagles game this weekend.
Oh, you do? You get
So I miss
to
you. Even on the road.
tell Doug
so
I said hi.
I will. I will.
Yeah.
I just got off the phone with Patrick Cox.
Oh, you did. He's good people.
He's good.
Yeah, he's great. Yes.
And then we're going to be watching you guys.
Yeah, I know. Just a little.
Put that in the archives.
We good? All right. Okay, as far as injuries, no changes from the last couple days here with Eddie Jackson, Aaron Lynch, and Allen Robinson. And then Houston Carson was he was sick, so he's back, so he's all good there. Yeah, we had a good week. We were inside most of the week just with some of the rain and the weather that we had, but I thought the guys were extremely focused and put together a nice little week.
Do you have a doubtful, questionable on any of those guys?
I don't have the. Let's see here. We got. Yeah, I don't even know how to read these dang things. There we go. Hold on, I got it. Let me open the page here. I got it folded here. All right, so we got limited was Bilal, and then full participation was DHC, and then the other guys did not practice. Eddie, Aaron, and A-Rob. I hate this injury thing. I got to tell you, it makes no sense to me. All right, yeah, we're good. So Eddie Jackson doubtful, Aaron Lynch doubtful, A-Rob doubtful, and Bilal Nichols questionable.
All right, there we go.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Patrick.
No problem. With Robinson, obviously, he goes all week without practicing. Have you seen improvement? Is there reason for optimism for, if not this Sunday, next?
Who's that again?
A-Rob.
A-Rob. Yeah, we'll just he's been he's sore, so we just got to make sure that pain-wise he's okay, and then we'll just kind of feel where he's at here in the next couple of days. But I just want to make sure that whatever we do, it's smart for him, it's smart for the team. It's literally as simple as that. And as far as knowing the plays, knowing the different things we're doing, I'm not concerned with that. It's just more so of how smart are we here, again, with that balance of this week versus next week.
Did Kyle Long progress the way you were hoping to see?
He did, yeah. I thought he did. I thought he's had a good week of practice. And again, when you're out that long and you come back, a lot of it's just kind of getting your wind back, your conditioning back, and then obviously, trying to see exactly how you feel pain-wise and then health-wise as well. But he's done a good job.
Do you anticipate activating him off IR?
We'll see. We're going to get together later on tonight and go through all that, the decisions that we want to make, and see where he's at. But we know that that's a possibility.
If he did, would you have him on any sort of a snap count, or have him only play a couple quarters on Sunday potentially?
Just talking to him throughout the week, I feel pretty good with him playing most of the game. But we have to just kind of see if that's where we're at, and if it is a pitch count, or if it is, a lot of that I think honestly is going to be more so of when you're in the game. How's he feeling? If he's feeling good, keep him going. If he's not, then we can. And when I say not, maybe it's just between all of us talking. Hey, let's just get him out, and it's good for him in any way you look at it.
Did he put in a full practice this week?
Pretty much so, yeah. He's done a good job, of going through the practices and again, just getting in the huddle, breaking the huddle, getting up, hearing the cadence, going through all that stuff, and then going ahead and doing the other, the run blocking and the pass blocking. He's done well with that.
What kind of progress has Eddie Jackson made this week?
Yeah, he's getting better each week. I think that Andre Tucker, our head trainer, he does a really good job. You've seen that all year long with these guys that have had injuries that have, whatever type of injuries they are. Andre does a good job at making sure that they're back on track and they're feeling right. And I think right now he's right on schedule to be in a good spot. I don't know. Again, I wish I could tell you, but I hope so. I hope so, yeah.
Deion Bush play, and what do you expect from him, especially with very good receivers, obviously?
Yeah, he's doing well. He's playing well. He had a good game last week. Again, that's why you build depth on the team. So when something happens to Eddie in the last play of the game like it did, then you get the next guy up, and I thought he's played well. I actually was not. No. I was more into players.
you had friends who were Eagles fans.
Oh, I had a bunch of friends that were Eagles fans, yeah.
Heard from any of them this week?
I've heard from some of them. I think some of them are smart enough to know that texting me does nothing because I'm not going to listen to it. So I'm just going to worry about trying to win our game and
Sounds like you guys are pretty popular in that part of the country this week.
yeah, I'm sure we are. You know, it's a big game for them, their game and our game, and so I get it, we get it, but we're like I said, we're doing everything we possibly can to go there and win the game.
I know we've asked you 20 different ways about how you're going to go about Sunday. Do you have a guy picked out to be in charge of watching the Rams game yet?
I've talked to a few people, but you know what I've told them too is I just want to I really you probably won't believe me, but I truly want to just focus in on doing everything I can. And you know when you're in, you don't look at the scoreboard one time as a coach. I don't even know where it's at in our stadium, and I sure as heck don't know where it's at where we're going. So we're just going to play, and then if there's a situation where it's almost like an outlier where hey, you know this is ridiculous one way or the other, then I got a decision to make. And I think, and that's what's real. I mean, you have to be smart about that, but some of that's you got to understand where you're at in our game as well. You know, it's a lot of these questions that come to me. There's just so many what ifs, and it's hard to answer a question with so many ifs.
Do you want an update on the sideline, or do you only want it when you get into the locker room?
Yeah, I want zero updates on the sideline. I just want to focus on playing football and coaching football. I don't want one update when I'm on the sideline.
You've got 15 games now of tape of the offense and Mitch, but with you and Mark working together on the offense, and then Mitch's kind of portfolio growing, how many more plays, how many more things do you have just down the line, not just for the playoffs, but
Yeah.
like looking forward, and how kind of fun is that process for you?
It is neat. It's a fun process for us, but to tell you the truth, we're probably more than anything. I think it's actually more pulling back, to tell you the truth, of where we're at. And then once the off season comes, then we can self-scout ourselves and see really and see really what we did well, what we didn't do well. And now you can start really building that identity, which we're still, you know, trying to figure out who we are. And so what we've done is kind of massage the process with Mitch, with myself, with the coaches as to figuring out what we do best. And a lot of that, like I said, is probably more condensing than adding. Yeah, that was a shocker. Huh?
They surprised you with the dog?
They did, yeah. Yeah, they did. They brought Tutty on there, and he was 0 for 2 with the treats, you know. So he missed both the treats. I don't like that.
They weren't very confident in that either.
No, but I said I think he's smarter than what we think because he's trying to miss it because he knows he gets another attempt, so he just gets more treats. So, yeah.
And Matt, players being players, so they're going to look at
You recognize his name, though, right?
How do you like touchdown?
Yeah.
Oh, good, because some people think it's Teddy. It's Tutty.
players are going to look at the scoreboard. I mean, what are you going to tell them before the game? I mean, that, you know, your guys and not paying attention. You may not be paying attention to, but guys
Yeah.
can look up there.
Well, hey, feel free. I mean, I'm sure they do it on normal games, normal situations, in between the timeouts and that sort of thing. But and I don't even know what their process is there. I don't know what the rules are or what they can or can't do. But again, to each their own. If our guys want to look at it, that's fine. That's what they can do. I'm just going to tell them what I'm going to do and how I'm going to approach it. And when you start getting into that, you know, especially in the first half, I think you're taking away from your team and you're taking away from what you need to do, which is go there and do everything you can to win. When we get in at halftime, I'll have somebody let me know exactly what's going on, and then I can make an educated decision off of that.
Matt, you've been asked a lot about the running game this year,
Mm-hmm.
the implication that you're not doing it enough. How much of a misconception is that? I think 7 teams have run the ball more than you guys have.
Is that what it is? Well, I understand it because we really haven't had too many plays this year, explosive plays. I think, you know, we could be better there. But I just appreciate, you know, in our running back room, the running backs that we have in that room, they're so selfless and they don't care. They don't talk about, I need more of this, I need more carries. They understand that we do this offense kind of collectively, but we do run. They understand we run the ball too. It's just we're not a team, I don't think, and I don't know how many teams there are like this, but you just come out and you just run, and then pass, and then run at the end. We're just kind of all over the place, and I think that's an advantage for us is that hopefully we don't have a lot of tendencies as to when we do call runs. And then, of course, there's a lot of runs, again, that are called that become throws with the RPOs, and so that can backfire in a good and bad way at times.
Coach, Coach, the Vikings, in a number of statistical categories, actually have the best home defense in the league. I think that's getting overlooked as you
Yeah.
guys head into this weekend. They have 33 sacks at home. What are some things you've taken from the first game? You know, which quarterbacks were affected as
Sure.
you go into this last game with all that's, you know, at stake.
So number one, I think when you look at that, anytime you're at home, you're going to have an advantage just because of the crowd noise. So it's harder for the offense with the cadence and the silent cadence. That's number one. Number two, you're talking about a fast defense, and you put that fast defense on turf, and they can move around pretty good. And again, when you play here at Soldier Field, it's grass, and the conditions are a little different. And so usually home teams will, I don't know that number, but I'd be curious to know home versus away what that is. And then they got really good players. Their players are great. They got great coaching scheme. So, and then they've been together too for a good 4 years. So that they've built that unity and trust within each other. And then you take all that and you throw it together and you say, oh, by the way, you know, this is going to be a playoff type atmosphere. So they're going to be revved up. We get that. And our guys need to be revved up well and understand what we're about to get into, and that's the exciting part. But they're a really good defense, and I totally agree with you that they are. That's a good stat.
For Mitch specifically, I mean, this is uncharted territory for him. How do you coach up a second-year player who's on the cusp of the playoffs? You know you're getting there. I mean, and he can be emotional at times, just how excited he gets. I mean, how have you steadied him this week, getting ready for the playoffs?
I need to be, I don't know what the word is, you know, I need to be that security for him and that safety for him, and I need to be able to teach him in these type of situations exactly what you're saying is I need to be there to comfort him in all types of scenarios, whether he's playing well, whether he makes a poor decision, and because it is new territory for him, and he is a young kid, and he does have lack of experience in these situations. So we need to make sure that we stay composed. I think having composure is big in these type of games, and it's only going to help him in the end. But he's done a really good job this year at growing in that phase of his game, and that's really, I'm super proud of him for that. And then we'll see as it goes here in the next couple of weeks how he handles it. But I need to be there, and so do our coaches to help him support him through that.
You guys are playing a late-ish game Sunday, and there's a chance that the playoff game, if you play in the wild card round, would be Saturday. Do you have anybody doing some work ahead stuff just to help make up for maybe that lack of ability?
Yeah, we do. We have in all of our situations right now. We feel pretty covered in all areas. So it is, you know, we're in a situation where a few different things could happen, and we want to make sure that we cover our bases for sure.
I've been asking players in the locker room when the moment was this season where they realized this team was really good and they felt confident. And a lot of them pointed to the week 1 loss actually at Green Bay. So looking back now from where you are now, what did you learn about your team that week and that loss?
Well, that week specifically when we lost that heartbreaker, you could see guys that were searching for some leadership in that situation. So they were looking for direction. How do we handle this? Man, this is tough. We just fought so hard, such an emotional game. We did everything you asked us to do, and then we ended up losing here. And so now what? And that's where, like I've said before, you know, I wanted them to understand that, man, we have so much time left, and we got to use this to build it for the future. And that's where they've grown throughout this season. They've become a lot closer and a lot tighter because of those experiences. And if it happened in week 2 when we came back and followed it up with a win. And so I like hearing that that's where they felt like as a team they started believing. I think that's when you hear things, but you're not fully bought all in. And I think that's probably the start of when they started buying into everything, what my messages were, what our coaches' messages were. They started believing in one another, and then strength in numbers. Everybody starts believing, and it's powerful. Good? I'll be better with the injuries.